They better work. Oops, sorry guys.
Yeah, push it up. Here we go. How you doing? Fired up. All right. Hello, Ricardo. Coach Sanderson.
All right, we'll take questions for Coach.
How's everybody doing?
Games and obviously spent a lot of time around the Poconos area. What are your favorite awards this area? These are counties and what are you members of this region of the state?
Yeah, recruited Scranton for a long time. Had a bunch of buddies in East Stroudsburg that I went to college with from this area. We actually played groups one year in the minor league stadium here.
Knowing that this is one of the largest turnouts from attendance on this tour, I mean, that's a big deal.
Thank you, sir.
Pretty proud of this area, about the Penn State fans here.
Yeah, what I think is interesting is just when we got started talking about the organization of this trip and doing all 17 stops, it was pretty clear that everybody said, one of the most well-attended stop we'll have is Scranton. Fiercely loyal Penn State fans in this part of the state, and the fans are what makes Penn State special, which makes us different. Everybody talks about the stadium size, and the academic reputation, and those things. And those things are important, but the thing that makes Penn State special is the people, and I think Scranton is a really good example of that.
Coach, so close to the home of Matt McGloin, walk-on for Penn State, who had so much success. Can you talk about the values of walk-ons, and if there are kids in the area who dream of playing for you someday, what advice would you give them?
Well, first of all, very proud of those guys and the careers they had at Penn State and continue to have. I look forward to getting to know those guys better. Matt was at the spring game, and I got the chance to see him for a little bit, which was awesome. But you look around the country, walk-ons have significant impacts everywhere. End up being star players, end up playing in the NFL. There's really good examples. So, my message to them would be the same as my message was at the commencement at East Stroudsburg. I did the graduation commencement last weekend, and that was chase your dreams as long as you possibly can. I think the other thing we talk about as well is don't let other people define you, who and what you're going to be. And I think walk-ons are a really good example of that. Guys that believe in themselves, they're going to chase their dream and compete. And some of those stories end up being storybook endings, like Matt's, and some don't. But I still think they learn an unbelievable, valuable experience of being a part of a program like Penn State.
Coach, go ahead.
You have some players from the area, from this area on the team now, Worthington, Thomas, and you brought in some other walkers. What kind of players do you typically get from this area? Is there a kind of a style that you see out of players in this area that you like?
Well, I haven't been at Penn State long enough to kind of talk about that specifically. The thing I would say is Pennsylvania in general, probably specifically Scranton, is you're going to get blue-collar, hard-nosed guys. They're going to be very appreciative of the opportunity that they have at Penn State, and they're going to maximize their experience. And that's how I want our program to be. I want us to find as talented a prospects we possibly can, and when I say that, I mean academically, athletically, socially, spiritually, the whole package, the most talented guys we can get. And then it's our job to help develop them and maximize their experience there. And I think with a blue-collar, hard-nosed mentality, you can be able to do that.
How do you define yourself? Are you a disciplinarian?
I think so. I think a pretty structured guy, pretty disciplined guy, pretty organized guy. You know, we hold guys accountable. We hold ourselves accountable. I think that's important as a program in general. And you know, that's how we've done it. That's how we've done it historically.
Coach, off of that, I read a little bit about what you expect from your players academically. I thought it was an interesting article. Can you expand, just talk about that again, and what you expect of them off the field?
Well, I want them to be the best in every area. Academics is the priority, always will be. You know, the NFL stands for not for long, and they want to get a degree that really means something. And you know, we want our guys to maximize their time there. So if they're there 5 years, it's our expectation they're going to have a chance to either get a second major or work on a master's degree. You know, I want them to leave Penn State being able to differentiate themselves out in the world, and that's because of their degree, their experience, hopefully being able to get some graduate work in or anything like that. So I want them to maximize all 4 to 5 years that they're going to have on campus, depending on whether they redshirt or not.
James, you talked about improving facilities via branding, technology. Could you give us a couple of instances of things that you're talking about?
Could you say that one?
In terms of improving facilities that you've talked about with regard to branding and technology, can you give us a couple of examples of things that you would like to improve?
Well, to be honest, I think it's everything. You know, it's nothing really structurally, but it's the indoor facility. Our turf needs to be replaced outside and inside. You know, the carpet, the paint, the branding, the furniture, the technology. I think it's, you know, what I would recommend you guys do is you get on the internet and you do some research on, you know, what does Oregon have, what does USC have, what does Oklahoma State have, what does, you know, these different places around the country, Texas A&M. You know, look around the country and see what people have, and we're going to be able to build a very, very successful program that's going to be competitive in this conference, but it's also going to be competitive, you know, nationwide. And I think it's just important for us to be aware of what's really out there. So I'd recommend you kind of take a peek at those things. Go to Oregon. You know, go on a YouTube Oregon's football facility tour, and I think you'll get a better chance of seeing what I'm talking about.
Have you found Penn State to be receptive to some of those requests that you're making?
Yeah, definitely. You know, we have some financial challenges right now, and issues that everybody's aware of. We've talked about those things a lot already, so it's going to be getting people to support that vision and jump on board with us, you know, through fundraising and those types of things. But yeah, I think, you know, Penn State has and wants to again be able to provide a first-class experience for student athletes. We've done that for a long time, and there's just some things that we need to tweak and get back right. It's become a little bit of an arms race in college football if you look around the country to what's going on, and you know, we want to be a part of that. You know, we want to be not only a part of that, but we want to be a leader in it as well.
Have you found anybody being surprised in terms of when you make those requests?
Could you? I'm having a hard time hearing you.
Have you found anybody to be surprised in terms of the fan reaction? You know, obviously when you're making these requests and you're talking about it on this tour, what's the general perception or reaction to those requests?
I think there's been a little bit of a surprise because a lot of people don't get the access, and we're probably providing more access than maybe people have ever had with Penn State. So I think that's a little bit different, and a lot of people don't get the chance to see it, or if they have seen it, they don't have anything to compare it to. You know, I've coached in the ACC, I've coached in the Big 12, I've coached in the Big 10, I've coached in the Pac-10, the SEC, and the NFL. So I think I got a pretty good perspective of what we're competing against and what's out there. You know, and once again, we got the number 2 ranked recruiting class in the country right now. So we're doing some good things. What are we going to be able to do when we get these other pieces? And what I want to do is I want to make sure that when kids and families come and visit us, they know they're going to be provided with all the resources that the top 15 programs in the country are providing. It's important that we have that piece of the puzzle as well.
With your experience in other schools,
It's a good look you got, by the way.
Thank
Ball
you.
and that goatee.
with your experience in other schools, is
there an example that you can give where you may have lost a recruit or you may have had trouble getting someone because of facilities that weren't on par with another school?
I think it's one piece of the puzzle. The academics are obviously important. The feel on campus, the size of the stadium, the attendance at the stadium, the support that they're going to have in terms of academic advisors, strength coaches, the coaching staff, all those types of things. The facilities, it's just all those pieces are important, and I think the thing that people have seen from us since we've arrived, we're going to embrace every single one of them. And each aspect of the program is important for where we want to go. And that's really what it is. It's not one specific event or situation. It's just let's look at all of our offerings and our strengths and our weaknesses, and let's build on our strengths. But let's also try to take some of our weaknesses and let's improve it. Because I do know through the recruiting process that when people know you have some weaknesses, they're going to use them against you.
James, what did you see from Gino Lewis this spring, especially relative youth you have a receiver going forward, though? What sort of role do you expect from him going forward?
You know, I know Gino for a long time. I actually think that when I was at the University of Maryland, I think we were the first school to offer him. I think I was the first guy to offer him. So I kind of go back a long ways with Gino. I think he had a really good spring. His jumping and leaping ability, I think, is something that he has that makes him special. He's got massive hands and a tremendous catch radius. There's some things that he needs to work on this offseason in terms of his quickness, change of direction, and top end speed. But I'm expecting him to have a big year. We need somebody to step into that role of Allen Robinson. I think he's a guy that can do it based on experience and things that he was able to accomplish this spring. But we'll see. I know him and Hacker are going to be spending a lot of time together this summer working on the chemistry and those things.
Coach, I have a lot of Penn State friends on Facebook, and every day there's a new Dominate the State post with the hashtag. Can you talk about the success you and the work you and your staff have done recruiting, and also are you as excited about the class as everyone else is?
Yeah, I'm excited. We got a long ways to go in a lot of different areas of the program and the organization. Recruiting is a big part of it. You know, someone said to me a long time ago, and I thought it was a great point. I mean, you coach in the NFL, you get one first-round draft choice a year. If you're a college football coach, you can go out and get as many first-round draft choices as you want every year. You sign 25 of them. It's basically, you know, how are you going to evaluate prospects? How hard are you going to recruit? And you know, are you going to be able to close the deal? So that's something that we're committed to doing. Good players help, and you know, we're excited about it. But we still got a long ways to go. We do have some really good momentum right now and enthusiasm. I wish we had 45 scholarships to give out this year, but we don't. That's just kind of where we're at. But the guys that we have, I feel great about.
Did you watch any of the draft? You know, follow some of the Vanderbilt players and some of the Penn State players. What were your thoughts on it?
Yeah, it was cool. It was great to see guys that we coached at the last school get opportunities. What's really neat for us is we have 3 players that have come to the state of Pennsylvania from Vanderbilt that are going to be playing for the Steelers and playing for the Eagles, which is cool. The Penn State guys I didn't know as well, obviously, because they were gone or done by the time we arrived. But obviously followed that and excited for them as well. You know, Urschel was a guy that was around a lot, working out. You know, he's got a home there, and you know, he teaches math on campus. I mean, he's kind of a different guy, you know. So had a chance to really get to know him, and he's a great example of what Penn State's all about. So you know, that's important. You know, that's important. I want guys to have the opportunity to play the game of football as long as they possibly can, and have the opportunity to go and play in the NFL. But the thing that's most important to me is that they get an education that means something and is valuable, is going to allow them to be successful for the next 40 years, not just the 4 years that they were at Penn State.
Take one more, guys.
Awesome. See you guys later. Thanks for being here. I think if you guys are interested,
Again.
We are.
2 and 3.
Penn State.
We are.
Penn State.
Come on, let me see some hands.
We are. Penn State.
1, 2, 3, and again, 1, 2, 3. And one more, 1, 2, 3.
Oh, great. Awesome.
Beautiful. Love
James Scranton, head coach of the Penn State Nittany Lions, Sanderson, the wrestling coach, and Frank here in the building just about 2 minutes ago, sitting down, talking to us about visiting Scranton, getting out to this area that former Penn State quarterback Matt McGloin was from, and walk out obviously playing a part of Penn State's football season in years past. And he says he expects a lot of talent to come out of this area. But for now, James Franklin just happened to be in Blackwater County. Franklin not done with his stop school in Eastern and Central Pennsylvania, just going after this and coaches going to Pennsylvania stop in Williamsburg on the 20th for lunch, and then they'll
Yeah, I'll pretend that I'm like watching.
All right. Okay, look this way. On the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. And again. 1, 2, 3. One more time. 1, 2, 3. Oh, you guys are beautiful. Are they that beautiful? They're that beautiful. One. Together. Yes. 1, 2, 3. All right.
What are we doing with our hands?
Yeah. Just press the button, Mike. Good job.
Came in, they didn't know what came back. It wasn't under their name, it was under scholarship. Okay. Hi, Joe. How was that? Did I do good?
I look like all the
I got one.
How about that? Thanks everybody for coming. It's our 36th annual dinner meeting. So I'd like all who are able, and you already are standing, so all who are able to stand, just keep standing for the invocation. Thanks. We are thankful for the opportunity to come together and for joyful moments like this that we can share as a Penn State family. We are grateful for those here who inspire us and lead us, yet have the ability to be themselves among us. Bless our members and guests gathered here, and bless the bounty of which we are about to partake. Amen. I'd like to, you can all be seated now. Thank you. I'd like to take a moment to address our table.
Just like sitting in the stadium,
On the far right.
Thank you. Girl.
Let me start with my left. Players, both of you. Far left is Brian Thomas. Gastineau. Director of the Penn State Alumni Association, Roger Williams. The boys in Penn State, Phelps right here. Coach James Franklin. Cael Sanderson. The Worthington-Scranton campus athletic director and one of our board members for a long time, Tim Allen. Our alumnus of the year this year, Dr. Metzger. And our two front members from the blue band, Metzger, Eric and the team forward, Matt Freeman. I'd just like to make a couple of acknowledgments, and we can all go there. Actually, feel free to go ahead and start doing this. So we'd like to thank Coach Sanderson and Coach Walsh for coming as our guests tonight. We'd like to thank our alumnus of the year, our scholarship winners, our male and female athletes of the year. All of them will be honored tonight. And our faculty research endowment winner. We'd like to thank Gertrude Hot Chocolates for those nice candies that we have. Sanderson said he doesn't have to make weight anymore, so. We'd also like to thank several members of other Penn State chapters here. I'd like to thank them for coming. We have people from the Main Pike chapter. We have people from our local science campus alumni society. People coming down from the Binghamton chapter. And we have people from the Hazelton chapter. I'd like to also acknowledge our previous alumni of the year. It's an award we've given out every year for over 30 years. So those of you who are here that are previous alumni of the year, please stand. And also Chancellor of the Worthington-Scranton campus, Mary Beth Jesperson. And our officers, our officers and board members. We'd ask our officers and board members to stand as I call out their names. The officers are First Vice President right here.
Give us a picture. You're building a Are you kidding me?
Dave Castlemeyer, Allison McGough, and Sue Fox. Thank you very much, everybody, and enjoy your dinner. Just wanted to say a few things about our chapter. This dinner is our major fundraiser for the year. Last year, if you recall, we had a similar crowd. We raised over $20,000 for scholars. Basically, here's some, thanks to some of the coaches and whoever that have come down here, we're probably going to raise even over $30,000 this year. As I said, that money is going to scholarships. We have 8 scholarship awards that we're giving out as part of this money. It's part of this money we raised. It's the most we've ever given out. 2 academic athletic awards, and Jeff will take care of that later. We are also